You won't believe what just went down between Chrisean Rock and Blueface. What started as a simple joke about their child exploded into one of the most reckless moments in hip-hop, with Chrisean going live on Instagram and literally giving out Blueface's home address to thousands of people. The threats, the chaos, and the danger that followed are beyond anything fans have seen before, and the story you're about to hear will shock you. Stay tuned, because this isn't just drama. This is real-life consequences unfolding right on your screen. Yo, I'm not even going to lie, this one's wild. What just went down between Chrisean Rock and Blueface isn't your regular celebrity drama. This might actually be one of the most reckless moments in hip-hop in a minute, and you need the full story to understand how messy it really got. So here's the situation. Chrisean Rock went live on Instagram and, no joke, dropped Blueface's home address to thousands of people watching in real. She wasn't subtle about it, she literally told the streets, "Come get him," and then started reciting the numbers of his actual address on camera. This wasn't some harmless rant or a regular baby mama fight. This was full-blown, reckless exposure that could have real-life consequences. What makes this even crazier is how it all started. The chaos didn't begin with a big argument, a fight, or even a serious disagreement. No, it began with a joke, one little joke about their baby. Blueface had made a comment on a dating show, joking that a girl looked like his son. And from that one joke, everything spiraled completely out of control. What should have been a minor, corny moment blew up into something dangerous, something that put a real person at risk. People who had been watching Chrisean and Blueface's toxic relationship for years couldn't believe how far she had gone. Even the most seasoned followers were like, yo, she really went too far this time. During the live, Chrisean was visibly angry, emotional, and completely unfiltered. She wasn't just mad, she was lashing out in a way that suggested she had no limits. First, she started attacking Blueface personally, calling him a deadbeat, accusing him of bullying their child, and saying things no one should ever say lightly, like he didn't deserve to be alive. That alone was enough to shock people. But the moment that really caught everyone off guard was when she started talking about visiting Blueface's grave with their son. Think about that for a second. She was speaking about him as if he were already gone, using past tense language like his death was inevitable. Lines like, "You're not going to live long, and I'll take my son to your grave," sent chills down anyone's spine watching at home. At this point, you might think it's just words, just drama, but it didn't stay there. After venting, Chrisean crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. She began giving out Blueface's home address on camera, exact numbers, exact street. Thousands of people were watching live, and the comments section immediately went wild. Screenshots were taken, addresses were copied, and people started reposting it everywhere. And here's why this isn't just reckless, it's potentially Blueface isn't some random internet celebrity. He has known gang affiliations, a real history in LA street politics, and he just got out of jail. Giving out his address in Los Angeles is like handing a stranger a loaded weapon and telling them where to aim. This isn't hypothetical danger, this is real danger. After the address drop, Chrisean continued with threats, saying things like, "You're not safe out here, and you're going to die first over my dead body." Even for fans used to dramatic baby mama daddy fights, this was on another level. She wasn't just venting frustration, she was effectively greenlighting anyone who wanted to take action. People online immediately recognized it for what it was: doxing combined with threats of violence, which in many places is actually illegal. This wasn't social media beef, it was criminal behavior being broadcast live to thousands of people. That reactions online were split but intense. Some fans sided with Chrisean, saying Blueface deserved it for disrespecting her and their son. Others were horrified, warning that she had gone too far and someone could actually act on what she had just said. Even people who usually support Chrisean couldn't defend this. Everyone could see the potential consequences. Someone could get hurt or worse, because of what she did. What makes this situation even more hypocritical is Chrisean's own past behavior. For months, she had been posting about how dangerous LA is, how she doesn't feel safe, and how she had to leave the city to protect herself and her son. She constantly emphasized that she was scared of the streets, yet here she was, actively making LA dangerous for Blueface, putting him at risk in a city she had previously claimed was too hot for her. The same woman who fled for safety was now putting someone else in jeopardy. And let's not forget the bigger picture. This isn't just a feud between two celebrities, there's a baby involved. Chrisean Jr., their son, didn't ask to be born into this chaos. One day, he could look up his parents and see the threats, the fights, the addresses being posted, and the toxic drama unfolding online. He's the real victim here, caught in a conflict he didn't create. In short, what started as a little joke about a child's appearance escalated into one of the most reckless acts of social media behavior in recent hip-hop history. Chrisean Rock's Instagram Live wasn't just drama, it was a real-world threat, a public exposure of private information, and a dangerous escalation in a toxic relationship that has been playing out in public for years. And while people argue about who's right or wrong, the truth is clear. She crossed a line that should never be crossed. Let's back up and really break down how we got here. Because if you're just tuning in, you might not understand the full context. Blueface and Chrisean Rock's relationship has been one of the most publicly messy and chaotic in hip-hop history. This is not a new development or a one-off incident. Their drama has been unfolding in real time for years. And it's the kind of chaos that makes people both fascinated and horrified at the same time. From the very beginning, this relationship was explosive. You don't have a history like theirs without some serious fire. There are countless videos of fights caught on camera, some of which even involved police showing up. And it's not like these incidents were rare or isolated, they happened repeatedly, creating a cycle of breakups, reconciliations, arguments, and more drama. It was literally a roller coaster that nobody could look away from, and anyone who's followed them closely knows just how unpredictable and destructive this dynamic can be. Chrisean Rock first came into Blueface's life through his reality show, Blue Girls Club. She was already a rising rapper and reality star in her own right, and when the two met, the chemistry quickly turned complicated. What might have started as a connection between two public figures quickly turned toxic. And almost immediately, their fights became part of the public record. They weren't private arguments that stayed behind closed doors. Explosive interactions seemed to find its way onto social media or into videos that circulated online. The physical fights were just the tip of the iceberg. Chrisean even lost a tooth during one altercation, an incident that was caught on video and went viral. On multiple occasions, police were called to intervene, which only added to the spectacle. Rumors of restraining orders and court dates began circulating, making it clear to fans that this wasn't normal relationship drama. The chaos became part of their identity, and the public almost expected something wild every time they interacted. Despite the volatility, the relationship continued, and things got even more complicated when Chrisean became pregnant with Blueface's child. Their son Chrisean Jr. was born in 2023. And his arrival should have been a moment for growth and maturity. Instead, it became another layer in a deeply messy situation. While Chrisean was pregnant, Blueface was still publicly involved with another baby mama, Jahan Alexis, who he eventually got back together with and later married. This created a love triangle that fueled even more tension, jealousy, and public drama. Fans watching this couldn't help but be drawn into every twist, turn, and public spat, because it seemed like every moment was being documented online for maximum chaos. Once the baby arrived, social media amplified the drama even more. People immediately began commenting on the baby's appearance, comparing him to Blueface, and creating a conversation that quickly became sensitive and emotional. Blueface himself made jokes about it, but Chrisean clearly took these comments personally. What started as a simple observation about their child became yet another source of tension between the two, and it set the stage for the kind of explosive reactions we're seeing now. Things got even more complicated when Blueface ended up in jail. While he was behind bars, Chrisean was moving between Los Angeles and Baltimore, managing her own life and career as best she could. But co-parenting during this period was chaotic, to say the least. Social media posts from both sides became platforms for subliminal shots, public insults, and arguments about custody and responsibility. Every attempt at communication seemed to devolve into more conflict, which only fueled the cycle of toxicity. By the time Blueface got out of jail, one might have hoped that the two could finally find a way to co-parent peacefully for their son's sake. But that wasn't the case. Their attempts at calm and cooperation rarely lasted more than a few weeks. Every time things seemed to settle, something else blew up: another fight, another public statement, another viral video. For years, this relationship has been a textbook example of what happens when toxic personal dynamics meet public platforms and social media amplification. So, when we look at the recent Instagram Live incident where Chrisean dropped Blueface's home address, it doesn't come out of nowhere. This is a couple that has a long history of public, dangerous, and highly toxic interactions. This isn't just some argument gone viral, it's the latest chapter in a relationship that has been volatile from the start. Understanding their history helps explain why the situation escalated so quickly and why people online were so shocked at the level of recklessness. In short, Chrisean and Blueface's relationship has always been messy, dramatic, and public. From physical fights to legal drama, from love triangles to co-parenting chaos, every step has been magnified by social media. The recent escalation is simply the latest example of a long pattern. A highly volatile relationship in the public eye. One that has repeatedly crossed boundaries and put people at risk. And now, with their son in the middle, the stakes are higher than ever. Chrisean Rock is a rapper and reality star who met Blueface through his reality show Blue Girls Club. They started dating, and from the jump, it was clear, this relationship was toxic. We've seen public fights, Chrisean even losing a tooth in an altercation, police involvement, rumors about restraining orders, the works. And amidst all this drama, Chrisean ended up pregnant with Blueface's son Chrisean Jr., born in 2023. Now, it gets messier. While Chrisean was pregnant, Blueface was still dealing with another baby mama, Jahan Alexis, who he later got back together with and even married. So we have a love triangle with a baby in the mix, and neither side handled it maturely at all. After Chrisean Jr. was born, people immediately started making comments comparing him to Blue. Some joked about his looks, some took it too far. Chrisean clearly didn't like the jokes. And that tension has been simmering ever since. Then Blueface ended up going to jail. While he was locked up, Chrisean was moving between LA and Baltimore, living her life. The co-parenting situation, a complete disaster, public insults, social media digs, fights over custody, name it. When Blueface got out, you'd think they could at least try to co-parent peacefully. But nope, these two can't stay out of drama for more than a couple of weeks before something else blows up. Now, here's what finally set the latest fire. Blueface appeared on one of those YouTube dating shows. The kind where one person eliminates contestants until they find someone to date. On the show, Blueface was doing his usual thing, joking and roasting contestants. But then he got to one girl and said, "You look like my son." He doubled down on the joke, comparing her face to his baby boy with Chrisean. Was it funny? Subjective. Was it disrespectful? Absolutely. But this is the internet, so the clip went viral immediately. People were laughing, arguing, and picking sides. And that's when Chrisean Rock saw a hand. She didn't just scroll past or make a tiny subliminal post. No, she went live, shared his home address, and basically challenged anyone to confront him. So here we are. What started as a corny joke turned into a situation so dangerous that even casual fans of their drama were shocked. We're talking reckless, real-life consequences unfolding online in real time. This is a toxic relationship at its worst. A messy a baby in the middle, zero communication, and social media fans living for every moment of chaos. And now, things just crossed a line. Chrisean Rock didn't just react, she blew the whole situation up. The moment she hopped on Instagram Live, you could tell she wasn't in her usual mode. She was furious, emotional, and ready to burn everything down. Within seconds, she was tearing into Blueface, accusing him of bullying their child, calling him a deadbeat, and saying he didn't even deserve to be alive. And that was only the beginning. Then she said the line that made everyone watching stop. She started talking about visiting Blueface's grave with their son. Think about that. She wasn't arguing. She wasn't venting. She was talking like Blueface was already gone, like his death was something she expected. She was saying things like, "You're not going to live long, and I'll take my son to your grave." That's not regular baby mama anger. That's the type of talk people use when they're implying something serious is about to happen. Up to this point, it was messy but still just words. Drama, sure, but nothing hip-hop fans haven't seen before. Then she crossed a line you can't ever walk back. In the middle of her rant, she started giving out his actual home address on camera. She literally started reciting the numbers step by step, while thousands of people watched, screen recorded, and repeated the address in the comments. The chat exploded. Everyone knew instantly how dangerous that was, because this isn't just any rapper we're talking about. Blueface has gang ties. He's been involved in real street politics. He just got out of jail. And he's from LA, a place where leaking someone's address can literally get them killed. This isn't a joke. There are real people who have real problems with him. And she just handed them directions to his front door. But she didn't stop there. After dropping the address, she kept firing off threats. "You're not safe out here. You going to die first. Who let you out of jail?" And when you remember her past behavior, the hypocrisy just gets louder. People haven't forgotten how she once made comments that could have sparked tension between Bloods and Crips. When things got messy, she dipped to Baltimore without looking back. She threw the rock. then ran when the consequences showed up. Now she's on Instagram doing the same exact thing again, starting chaos, escalating street politics, and acting shocked when people point out how dangerous her words really are. This time, Chrisean Rock wasn't hiding. She put her face on camera and literally said, "Come get him. Here's the address." And immediately, people in the streets started talking. Folks who understand LA gang politics and how dangerous the streets can be knew exactly what she'd done. This could actually put Blueface in real danger. There's a reason you never drop someone's home address online, especially while talking crazy about them. At the same time, Twitter and Instagram exploded. People were saying she went too far. That's the father of her child. This isn't petty, this is like, she's constantly talking about how she feels unsafe. But in this moment, she became the most dangerous person in the entire situation. This isn't co-parenting. This is coordinating a hit. Even her usual supporters were like, "Nah, this is not okay." Everyone could see the truth. This wasn't about protecting her son or standing up for herself. This was revenge. This was messy. This was using social media as a weapon. And that's the bigger issue here. What Chrisean did on that live is called doxing, exposing someone's private information with harmful intent. In many states, that's illegal. Pair that with threats of violence, and you're looking at serious criminal behavior. This is the danger of social media today. People get caught up in going viral, in getting revenge, in winning online arguments, without thinking about real-life consequences. The internet is not separate from reality anymore. What you do online can put you or someone else in serious danger. Right now, that Instagram Live is everywhere. Screenshots, reposts, and shares have spread the address across multiple platforms. Blueface responded publicly, trying to play it cool with jokes, but behind the scenes, he has to watch his back. Even if Chrisean didn't intend real harm, someone else might see this as an opportunity. Chrisean, meanwhile, is acting like nothing happened, posting her usual content, moving on like she didn't just potentially commit a crime on camera. Some people think she could face legal consequences, while others think Blueface might not press charges because of their history. But the bigger question is, when is enough enough? When do we stop treating toxic celebrity relationships as entertainment and start recognizing them as dangerous situations that need real attention? And the saddest part, there's a baby in the middle of all this chaos. Chrisean Jr. didn't ask to be born into this. One day, he'll be able to Google his name and see videos of his parents threatening and exposing each other. That's the real victim here. So, what we saw wasn't just drama. It wasn't just two celebrities going at it. It was a woman so consumed by anger and revenge that she potentially put a target on her child's father. No matter what Blueface did with that joke, his safety shouldn't have been compromised like this. If you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe, because we keep you updated on all the hip-hop drama and street politics everyone's talking about. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.